C.o.d. It's like K.o.b. inside MSG. So like we top seed, old school's top speed. Pimp slap left hand. Is that hoe gon' bang? Is your bitch gon' gang? Is your nuts on swang? That's pinning who they attached to. Pistachios and bag moves. Took my head up out my moon to beat the sun and hoop in glass shoes. Cash back up on that ass. Season dose, I'm off that gas too.
Coming no warning, Jack kamikaze. Bloody, battered and bruised. Adrian life been rocky. Third act of my saga struggle didn't break me or stop me. Dressing like I like my hair real drippy and sloppy. Draped up and dripped out. Put my money where I be talking about to move to H-Town and motherfucking burn it down. Hey, it's your boy C.o.d. the Cater Boy Music. He man tell me.
Hey, I want money. Hey, time back. This your boy C.o.d. the Cater Boy Music, aka C.o.d. MD the Doctor, coming to you live on another lovely Mental Health Monday afternoon. But this is Eerie. Give me some headlines, and this is a very special edition of the show that you get every other week. Some that's always gonna keep you geek. Some I like to call a Spike P joint, and I'm gonna toss it to my co-host. Talk to the people, P. Why?
It's your boy, P. Henry Trotter the Fourth, aka Home Run Trot, aka Casino P, aka at Frederick _Thugless on your IG, aka Mock Tube, aka Quinn with the pen and with the lens, aka Chef Boy RP, aka your grandma's favorite, aka gotta rep the hometown, Fair Hope Fred, aka your grandma's favorite house guest, cause that boy got manners. And like my dog told you, we in this motherfucker on lunes, noches, Monday night, Raw, football, whatever you want to call it, episode 56, Spaggity P joint, Spaggity P. We in this hole, man. How you feeling? How the top of the week going for you, my boy?
Man, it's going well, man. It's going well. I'm turning up, G, man. I feel fantastic, man. My camera betraying me at every turn that it's getting a chance to, but I ain't really worried about the hate or the fate, you know what I'm saying? Because we gonna make this shit shake. You did me, doggy?
Square bitty.
The people just gonna get a heavy dose of your mug this episode, and I hope they appreciate all of that melanated greatness they get. You feel what I'm saying?
Schmizzers.
Because I ain't tripping, you know what I'm saying? But when I do pop back, I'm gonna show them the pearly whites like, you feel me? And we gonna keep it pollution. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, we gonna slide right on into the flickety. You know I brought the right lighter this week. Flight that year.
Had to.
And this is Spike P joint. So this gonna be a Tosh.Bro, and we gonna do the right thing. You hear me? And this week, man, I came in very organized with a smorgasbord of videos, man. And I want to let you choose, man. And we can shoot off as many as keep us laughing. If it get dry, we'll keep on going. Keep this shit busting like the 4th of July. You feel me?
Bet that.
So we're going to start with the top row, man. And I'll read them to you. We can come back to them if they don't necessarily get picked in the first one, man. But in the top row, we got Accountability, ATL Game, Brit, Court of Public Opinion, and Draco. Which one you want to see first? Or which one you want out of them?
Accountability.
Accountability?
Like accountability, yeah. I've been telling people in these interviews, that's something I got.
I got you. We going to go with that one first, dude.
80% of black males who are in jail come from single mother homes. So don't sit here and preach to me how y'all do such a great job of
So where's the father?
Listen to what you're saying.
Where's the man in the household?
Okay,
where did you go?
I can explain that. Let me explain that, please. Here's a simple answer to that. See, I own a house. In that house, if you were my wife, and I kept inviting dudes over, and they kept walking in with dirt on their shoes, and they kept throwing popcorn and shit on the ground and fucking it up. When they left, who would you blame? Me or them?
A combination of both.
No,
specifically you.
Yes. Why?
Specifically
Because
you.
it's my house. See, let me explain something to you. When women have babies, I ain't never seen a man die in a delivery room. Women do, though. So, one, they can decide to end the pregnancy.
That's right.
He can't.
Unilaterally.
Yes, they can't. He can't. The men can't. The women can decide to give a baby up at a gas station, at a
Firehouse,
so they can do all these things. So if women are so damn smart, how come they the only motherfuckers that's constantly getting conned and lied to get in the situation they in? Y'all claim y'all are smart as men, but y'all the only people who say, oh, he told me to do this and he talked me into this. When a man gets screwed over, they say it's your fault.
You should have seen it coming.
Should have seen it coming. So why is it we can't say to these women? Because let me tell you a stat that should shock you, all of you. Did you know there are 2 times as many black women with children than black men?
Damn.
What does that tell you? Well, I'm going to interpret that for you.
Here we go. Okay.
It tells you that women are fucking the same man.
Boom.
Damn.
So y'all know he ain't shit, and you fuck him because you in competition with that other ain't shit bitch to have that ain't shit nigga baby. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who you know got 9-11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these bitches, and bitches jump right on the video to be there with him. So don't tell me.
You get the point. You know how we do Tosh.Bro, man. I tee them up because they make me giggle or I find them interesting, and I get your thoughts. So, Spike P joint, talk to the people here at Trotter.
In all honesty, I didn't think I definitely thought
I know you didn't. That's why I smile like that. I was like, he don't know what he just chose. You want me to choose the one you should have chose?
Yeah.
Just move on. ATL game. We just gonna let that clip speak for itself. This the one he should have chose, y'all.
And I'm like, what's your favorite color?
Pink.
Oh, you a virgin?
But what the fuck?
I'm tripping. I was trying to look. I really finna go to the bank because these broke ass folks in here ain't got change for $100 million. That's what I'm saying. Like, I be happy. Where you from, LaShawn? Come here, let me talk to you.
Back up.
I was just trying to see what the fuck your name was, bitch. Hell nah, like, I don't be burning these hoes. I think everybody burning.
Wasn't you burning last month?
That's the past, though. I ain't burning no more. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Can I have some?
No. Talk too much more.
I'm not gonna tell nobody. Look at my face.
Dumb as fuck.
Okay, but that don't matter, bitch. Put the coochie in the bag if you want to. You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make nobody do what y'all want to do.
ATL nigga put the game, you know what I'm saying? They already do it. This a row full of hits. I really want to show you how bad you chose, bro. This is Draco. You could have chose Draco. I want the people to know what you could have chose.
First time shooting the Drake.
Get your hand up, trigger, put it down.
Oh, that shit on him. It's on.
This shell
shooting the Drake.
Hurt him up.
You see it?
Yep. It popped out the wall. Ricocheted out the wall.
Get your hand up, trigger, put it down.
That whole row was a good time.
Get your hand up the trigger.
You showed the one video that was wild, man. So we gonna move on to row 2. And we got Hurston. We got Jada telling on herself. We got Kanye. We got Kids Say the Darndest Things. And KS, aka Kevin Samuels. No, sir.
Let's go with the middle joint. Kanye.
Man, this brother really is a genius. And people get mad when I fight or argue on his behalf when he be saying wild shit. But it's so much about this motherfucker that people don't know. And this is just another small sample, bro.
When Kanye's mother passed away in 2007, my husband received them as part of the estate about a year after she passed.
So you brought in this collection of artwork that was all done by Kanye West. You brought with you actually quite a large portfolio. We selected just a few to show, but yes. you have a great number of them.
Yes.
I think what really attracted me to these pieces was the fact that a lot of people are probably not aware of how talented he is as an artist outside of his music career. I think these pieces demonstrate an extraordinary facility as an artist, and I selected this grouping because it shows the different mediums he was working in. On this one we have obviously graphite. This is an unfinished piece. We have graphite again. It looks like we have gouache over there on board, and this is a technique we call scratchboard, where you have color pigment laid down and then you cover it with a black ink and then it's scraped away to create an image underneath. And they're all really exceptionally well done. One of the other cool things you had in this portfolio, because you have so many drawings in there, was this flyer actually advertising his first showing of work, and it was done when he was 17 years old. Yes. So we're talking around 1995.
Correct.
It also mentions that this show was done when he was at the Polaris School, and a number of the pieces in your portfolio are actually identified as Polaris sophomore. Right. Mm-hmm. This flyer is really interesting because it gives the full background of his entire artistic training up until that point. Mm-hmm. And I have to say he has a very impressive resume, right. Having attended the Hyde Park Academy from age 4, the Art Institute of Chicago, Chicago State University, Nanjing University, and the People's Republic of China. Mm-hmm. He was then at the Polaris School. So by age 17, he's already been studying at these extraordinary artistic institutions. And my favorite part of this flyer is actually at the very end. It says that he began his studies to get a Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Sound a little less crazy, right?
Chicago, and continue to pursue a career as a music producer as well. Right. That's kind of an aside. So we all know what happened. Obviously, music kind of took over. How is it that a 17-year-old attended all these schools in foreign?
Because his mother was an English college professor, she traveled all around the world, and he went everywhere with her. So,
wow. So he had such an opportunity to experience all the cultures from around the world too, which I personally didn't know that about him. So that also.
Of course you didn't, you bitch. Because everybody think this man crazy. This nigga say, I am Warhol. And y'all think, y'all hear this crazy motherfucker? And then you see the work that he's done, and in comparison, he being humble. You know what the fuck? Like, I don't even think niggas understand, man. Like, it's a huge difference between confidence and arrogance. And when I tell you this nigga my spirit animal, like, bruh, I swear, whenever I get to question myself or how bad of a motherfucker I am, I go, what would Ye do? And then I go scream into somebody's face, somebody I don't even know, and make them listen to some music I just worked on. Dead ass, middle of Kroger, I make you listen to that shit. Yeah, I say I walk with you. We shopping for rice, and we listening to I Want That Soul Thing Back. That's just what it is. Yeah. And it
That's
like
what's
that.
up, man. I had no clue about his art background. That's pretty fucking fantastic. And the fact that his mom was, I see why he, obviously any nigga who loses his mom is going to be different following that experience, but you see why he's so attached to it, because she was so much of his, so much of what introduced him to the world.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna give you a sample of what you could have had from this as well, because I ain't set you up. I got a grenade in here. It's the Jada telling on herself. That's the one I'm gonna not play.
I knew that was gonna be a grenade. I knew that was gonna be a grenade.
It's a goodie though. It's a goodie though. This one right here is Hurston. It's the Hurston brothers with a skit. Shouts out to Philip Benjamin Hurston on TikTok and their brother. I forget the nigga who. Whatever. Shouts out to the one who working on blowing up. The other nigga done blew. Shouts out to Philip Benjamin Hurston, who on his grind, and that nigga funny as his brother, man. They a dynamic duo. But check Pete Gang G.
Oh, you feel me? Oh, hold on. Oh my God.
That's your speed right there, my boy. That's your speed. That boy in and out. I like that. I know you got all 10.
Boy, shot a gay here.
No.
Wow. Too gay.
That can't be, bro.
It's true, but she's super gay.
As gay as you can be, huh?
Yeah, man. I can just tell by the way she told me she had a boyfriend. Like,
logical.
I just knew it. I just knew it.
Yeah. If he was a girl, though.
But you read my mind, boy. I'm trying to tell you, but if I was a girl, boy, oh my God. But what?
It's the perfect scenario.
GG? If I was GG?
If I was GG? This nigga stupid as fuck, bro. But, bro, I find Kevin Samuels to be hilarious. And whenever females could get past some of the I don't want to hear anything a man got to say stuff and be entertained by it too, I appreciate their clarity and them being kindred spirits. But I'm going to fire this one off. You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
Why do y'all tell me this man Kevin Samuels is funny?
When it comes to dark-skinned black men in particular,
we're not doing that.
The nigga so motherfucking cold-blooded. The nigga will drop the hatchet, bro. The nigga will straight drop the hatchet, bro. The nigga got no patience for tomfoolery, and I love it, bro. But we gonna go on. We gonna go on to row 3, cause we got Kevin Samuel the Buddhist. We have poor, like poor. We have science. We have Spider-Man, and then layer. I didn't label it properly, but that's layer.
Let's go to poor.
Tell me you grew up poor without telling me you grew up poor.
My dad, he would keep my sister pregnant so we can have milk to drink.
I feel the same way. Your thoughts?
Yeah.
You chose that shit. You choose it terrible. You feel me?
Terrible.
I love this game, bro. I love that it give me some headlines. You choosing these joints. Here go Kevin Samuels the Buddhist, but I just want people to know which door you chose.
I just found something funnier.
If I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated.
This dude is a menace.
Nigga told Shawty she need to be reincarnated, boy. I tell you, nigga need help. And Jesus,
if I wanted a hot, wow.
Yeah, the man is savage.
Wow.
This Spider-Man. The show must go on, my dog. It gotta keep going. You feel me? The only one I'm not gonna play is Layer. This your dog, bro.
I am confused. Being philosophically consistent and being very honest.
This is science.
I'm sure you can tell me where God came from. Very honest person. I'm sure you can tell me where God came from. And in addition, once you've told me where God comes from, please try to clarify how you can figure that a spiritual force can have an impact on a material universe to create it. I think that some years ago we already talked about that kind of thing in philosophical circles at any rate, by posing the question, if angels are made of spiritual matter and a pen is made of material matter and spiritual matter displaces no space, how many angels can dance on the tip of a pen? I have a sense of sort of reversal experience here, but please do, go ahead.
Now, I say all the time on this show, only people who don't understand science disconnected from the spiritual. And I love this brother explanation.
5 minutes. Now, I just want to know which question.
That's all right. You may take
the computer is not in the computer. He's not running around in there changing the numbers on the screen, okay? The God who created this universe is outside of the universe. He's above it, beyond it, in it, through it. He's unaffected by it. So the concept that a spiritual force cannot have any effect on a material body, well then I guess you'd have to explain to me things like emotions and love and hatred and envy and jealousy and rationality. I mean, if your brain is just a random collection of chemicals that form by chance over billions of years, how on earth can you trust your own reasoning processes and the thoughts that you think? Okay, so your question, where did God come from, is assuming a limited God, and that's your problem. The God that I worship is not limited by time, space, or matter. If I could fit the infinite God in my 3-pound brain, he would not be worth worshiping, that's for certain. So that's the God that I worship. Thank you.
Talk your shit. Yeah. Understand that 300, 400, 500 years ago, clergymen and scientists were one and the same. The point at which they got separated was tomfoolery and fuckery. And a lot of lies came along with that separation, man. Don't fall for the deception, man. We gonna move on to the next row. That was Flames, was it not?
That was great.
Yeah. Science. He answered with science. Say whatever the fuck you want to. Look up everything he said down to the holy trinity of trinities and how everything is built. Science. What's for dinner? Work beef. Make room. Short fuse. Trolling. Which one you want, man? What's for dinner?
Work beef.
Work beef? That's a bet, man. We gonna go with work beef, man. This supervisor versus shiftman, man.
Damn, I hate my job, I feel like quitting on the daily, and I realize I can't quit because I got a baby, sometimes I just wanna lay around and be lazy, supervisor got one more time to walk up talking crazy, are you asking me to do some shit that's out of my pay grade? Why you volunteer my service knowing I ain't gonna stay late? On my case about mistakes that they made, oh hell no, I ain't putting no 2 weeks notice, I ain't even finna tell y'all.
Always talking about you gonna quit, but you ain't left yet. Ain't got no office job, but you just sit and talk to quick. If you can find another job, then you be there like yesterday. But you can't get a call back cause there's nothing on your resume. You play your music too loud. You coming smelling too loud. From what I hear, that's Bubba's baby. That ain't even your child. We ain't got a union, but you always stirring up some drama. I'ma fire you, your sister cousin, but I'll keep your mama.
J Random Music, boy, freestyling. And that's Brother Chuck, one on the beat. J Random Music, freestyling, and Brother Chuck, one on the beat. Yeah, them niggas turned up, did they not?
Oh, yeah, both of them niggas had flow, though. Both of them had flow.
Yeah, man. I'm all for that beef, man. And I'm going to play you more of this row, too, man. This right here is Make Room. And these from them brothers who be down there, crawfish boiling down there in Mobile by the crib. And I'm going to give you as much of them as I can. I followed them from Give Me Some Headlines on TikTok. Y'all follow us on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We on Spotify, podcast, subscribe, comment, rate, review, all 5 stars, because y'all know we litty in this bitty. But shouts out to Mobile, because that's one of my favorite motherfucking cities, because it's right next to Fairhope. Shouts out to the Hope. Yeah. And I'm gonna just pop it off, man. I love the people down there, and that's why I love being down there. We could be anywhere in the world as long as these people were there. That's why I love Mobile and being down in Alabama in general, man.
Hey, y'all, this dude here, Jerry say he want me to put him on our TikTok page. Y'all know what I say? Y'all think his big ass a fit?
A trans man ass.
Y'all nigga,
I damn near died trying to hold my laugh there so you can hear his laugh, bro. But also,
laugh.
I be bitching about dating a lot on this show. A lot. Like a good amount of bitching. And I feel like until we got the ladies calling in and giving their side of the story, I have to seek it out. Because men ain't shit. But I just be giving the perspective, because niggas be quiet because they be scared women gonna call them little bitches. So they don't be speaking up and piping up. So call me a little bitch, I'll pipe up. But women's side of the story got to be told, bro. And they go through some shit. You hear me? Women be going through some shit, doggy. And in reverse, this would piss me the fuck off, dog. The same expectation in reverse would make me furious. You feel what I said? And this hurt my feelings, but boy, with this shit funny, G.
So this guy invited me over for dinner at his place. And I got there and I got excited. I'm like, what are you making? Because I haven't eaten all day. And he said sausages. And I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good. And he whipped out his wiener and slapped on a plate.
Bruh, if I came to a chick house after I got all work, I ain't ate all motherfucking day, bruh, and she said I was having clams and like spread her legs. Bro, I'd be so fucking high. I'd be like, bitch, I'm headed to goddamn American Deli. I'll catch your ass later, bitch. I'm finna go get me a 10-piece lemon pepper dry. You feel me? You figure this shit out. You dead ass dumb. You think I'm eating pussy for dinner. I am furious. You know what I'm saying? Women deal with some nonsense, bro. But her delivery of the story, I know she delivering this shit through tears, bro. But her comedic timing was perfection. Can I run that bit back?
Yeah, that was funny.
So this guy invited me over for dinner at his place. And I got there and I got excited. I'm like, what are you making? Say I haven't eaten all day. And he said sausages. And I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good. And he whipped out his wiener. It slipped on a plate.
Yeah, when her voice break, her smile crack like the Joker. The shit so fucking crazy, bro. But the shit funny, G. But I'm gonna play this one quick. This one right here is the equivalent of road rage. But I feel like everybody has felt this dude frustration. I don't know if anybody's ever responded like this nigga. And this bitch caught in 480p. Horrible camera footage, but the story it tell, worth the watch. You know what I mean? Gentleman gets on the elevator, presses that joint, opens back up. Young woman in a nice white dress gets on with a gentleman in the seat. He presses the closed door button because he's in a rush. Security guard gets on, presses his floor, doesn't press the closed button, steps back up. Another person jumps on. Nobody presses the closed door. He taps it. A guy who got on and didn't press it holds the door open for two people who runs on. Here comes a third. Nobody presses the closed door button. And it opens up with a nigga with a cleaning cart. He pulled a pistol from the security guard. That nigga started drawing down. He said, "Oh, y'all get the fuck out." In all due fairness to Buddy who put the pistola, man, he gave them niggas 7 strikes, bro. He gave them 7 strikes, bro. I'm gonna scroll through quickly, but bro, the first time the nigga get on by himself and in such a rush, he hit them and tap the button and check his watch. Next thing you know, here come 2 motherfuckers. Boom. Here come number 2 with a third motherfucker. Here come number 3, 4th motherfucker. Here come number 4, 6 motherfuckers. Number 5, 7 motherfuckers. Here come number 6, and that nigga said, "Nah, hell no. That's hell no. I ain't riding with a mop." That's why I drove. He said, "I ain't riding with a fucking mop."
Lysol. Fuck that Lysol and Pine Sol.
Y'all perfume cool, but hell no, I ain't riding with the Dookie bucket. But this last one is just a troll. And you know, I be trying to learn how to use these apps cause I'm old as fuck. Square beating it. But TikTok funny as shit, bro. And to watch how they create and first things foremost, whatever you watching on TikTok, somebody enjoy it. So leave them the fuck alone. If you don't enjoy it, that's what scrolling is for. You know what I'm saying? But secondly, if you do get the bitching, the way they respond be so funny. So I'm gonna just hit play, doggy.
Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add to them? Can we stop duetting videos when we have absolutely nothing to add?
Was that not premium nonsense, G?
That was great. That was great.
I feel like that's just a good time. And for the audio cast, when you kept hearing the joint remix, that was people duetting her video and adding things to it. And what they were adding was a fucking... Who was the homie who had the abstract paintings where people was made out of shapes and shit? It wasn't Van Gogh.
Like
it wasn't the impression.
Like these melting clocks.
Yeah, the weirdo. It wasn't.
Was that not Warhol?
I don't want to get that nigga credit after shitting on him. That's the first name I thought of. So we gonna keep kicking if it was him. Yeah, that's what the body parts being added was. A nigga added his belly, a nigga added his arm scratching the belly, a nigga added legs to the nigga scratching the belly, a nigga added shins to the legs, and a dog walked past. And the finale was a nigga crawling through and becoming the dog. Just great fucking cinema, man. Just point blank period. Great fucking cinema. And man, for the culmination, man, headed clear to the 30-minute mark. Yeah, it said running a little bit long. But I feel like we in there, bitch, man. Flight deck, flickety. It's Croc Rivers, man. On an earlier episode, man, I talked to y'all about how much of a pussy he was and how he always scapegoating and got a lot of fuckery in his system. Yeah, a whole lot of. He got a lot of bitch in his system. And without Ben Simmons to scapegoat, this nigga is getting ahead of the excuses. He just barely escaped blowing a 3-0 lead, being the first nigga to do that after having 3-3-1 leads on his resume. And this bitch nigga is getting ahead of all the bashing he know he finna get because Joel Embiid got hurt after he overplayed him because this nigga is a terrible coach. And I'ma just play it, man.
Well, it's easy to use me as an example, but I wish y'all would tell the whole story with me, all right? My Orlando team was the 8th seed. No one gives me credit for getting up against the Pistons who won the title. That was an 8th seed. Go look at that. I want you to go back and look at that roster. I dare you to go back and look at that roster, and you would say, what a hell of a coaching job. Really. I mean, the Clipper team that we lost 3-1. Chris Paul didn't play in the first 2 games and was playing on one leg. And we didn't have home court. And then the last one, to me, is the one we blew. That's the one I said, we blew that. Now, it was in the bubble. And anything could happen in the bubble.
You hear this bullshit? Talk to the people, P.
Dog. You're the one who brought Croc Rivers to my attention and like his ineptitude as a coach. And I am one is genius because he know it's coming. Like he know it's coming. And he not and like you said, he trying to get ahead of the curve and make sure that once it go down, he trying to lighten that blow. What he should be thankful for, man, is that like don't even do that, man. Like don't give people the satisfaction of you trying to scapegoat and get yourself by trying to slide up out of this shit, bro. Like just deal with it, bro. Like you shouldn't have, like you're not a good coach at all. Like you're not a good coach. And that team was like, they were that Orlando team was just a collection of good players that played team ball outside of having you as a coach. Like that, there was no reason that Boston team shouldn't have won more ships with that collection of players that they had
right
in
there.
the area.
Can I interject, G?
Go ahead.
That's exactly where I was going. Hey, Croc Rivers, if you want us to look at that Orlando roster and give you credit, can we look at that Boston roster as the only big 3 in the league that year and say that you a terrible fucking coach because it took you the most games in playoff history to win a title with the only fucking big 3?
With the first,
that's your only championship. Yeah. That's his only championship. And the nigga had 4 7-game series. How the fuck you do that? With the only big 3. He had KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. Who was the other big 3 in the East? I'll wait. LeBron was by himself on the Cavaliers. Dwayne Wade was by himself because Shaq was hurt down in Miami. Paul George wasn't quite PG yet. Pistons were old.
I think that
it took them niggas the most games in NBA history to go win that title. The most in NBA history. If we gonna look at your roster in Orlando and give you credit, bitch, let's look at your Boston roster and say the one you won, how the fuck it take you the most games in NBA history? And how the fuck you didn't win more with that big three with your pussy? Talk to the people, P. Croc River's a bitch. And we gonna look at your rosters, but we not gonna only look at the Orlando roster. I love that you did what you thought was gonna help you, because we gonna call your bitch ass out over here. I told you he would have excuses this year. And because he couldn't blame it on Ben Simmons, he went back and blamed it on Hedo Turkoglu, nigga. He went back and blamed it on international players who had Orlando lit and who led to Luka them being drafted, because they was leading the league in 3-point percentage every fucking year. So when you found a cat who had some dribble and boogie and who could orchestrate the offense, they was like, oh, that's a no-brainer. He a first rounder. You feel me? Like, you ain't gonna hate on Hedo Turkoglu and goddamn Peja Stojakovic and some of them niggas who came through Orlando. You can kiss my ass, dog. Yeah, they got you up 3-1. You're not gonna make them the reason you blew a 3-1 lead. Fuck you, dog. Exactly. You the reason you blew 3 games in a row. The coach. If you had the pieces to get you up 3-1, don't tell me, look at my amazing job getting up 3-1. Well, then what happened in the last 3 games? Yeah,
you won 3 games. Like,
you stopped being a great coach?
Out? Right.
When you had 3 closeout games?
You had 3 games to get 1, and you couldn't close out those games. So you
one of them bitches was at home. You feel me?
I'd fire him now if I was Philly, bro. Like, how he keep getting jobs? That's the thing. It's like how he keep getting jobs, and that's the thing. Also, is
off
like
the reputation of that one championship.
Like, that's 3 times you've done that shit. 3 times you've done that shit.
All he's ever done is choose a superstar to alienate and scapegoat. It was Ray Allen in Boston. It was Blake Griffin in LA. It was Ben Simmons as soon as he got his ass to Philly. And now because he can't do it to Joel Embiid and he's scared to do it to Harden because that's the GM guy, he going back and doing it to Hedo Turkoglu, bro. Doc Rivers ain't shit.
Yeah.
And that has been. That's
some whole shit. That's some whole shit.
I had to make sure I highlighted that, bro. We ain't letting Doc Rivers off the hook on this show.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, that has been this week's Fliggity Flight Deck. And this is a Spike P joint, so I give over the reins to my G. Do you think?
Yes, sir, man. Tell me what you've been watching on that television, man. Give me some TV.
Oh, man.
Give me some of that.
On the tuber the boober. I've been watching some shit specifically. And I've been watching some shit specifically. And I'm finna go back to my recents to make sure I go look at what it exactly was. And I wanted to talk potentially about Eternals, but I was like, nah, I don't really want to talk about Eternals. Have you seen that movie? It's the Disney movie. It's the one in yeah, I'll talk about that. It's the one in the line that it's another origin story for the MCU universe, Marvel comic universe. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
And the shit crazy, G. And you know, I told you I'd be watching shit like that, like it's based on a true story. So like some of it was just like the plot of it in and of itself was wildly intriguing if you watch it like that shit a historical, if it's like it's the History Channel with great graphics. So I found that to be funny as shit. But the movie I'm gonna talk about that I watched is The Suicide Squad. Cause the first one was fucking terrible, bro. The one with Will Smith in it and shit. You seen that bullshit?
Yeah, nope,
bro. When I talk about whack, that shit was terrible. I'm gonna tell you the plot of the first one. We're gonna put together a group of a bunch of bad guys to help solve a problem. You feel me? So they got a drill to hammer a nail. And the drill went and screwed the whole fucking world over. One of the people she collected became the villain in the movie. Had she not put the group together, there would have not been a reason for the movie. That's how bad the first one was. It was that simple. Had she not put the group together, it would not have been a reason for the movie. Yep. So I said, I gotta watch this second one. Cause this shit gonna be spectacularly horrible. Cause the graphics is gonna be 10 times better cause it's 5 years later. And I'm gonna give it a try. And they replaced Will Smith with my doggy what's my bloke name? What's the English Will Smith? Instead of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it was The Wire. No. It was like The Wire was his TV show that transitioned him to movies. Idris Elba. That's the name, ain't it?
Yeah.
They replaced Will Smith with Idris Elba. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a good comparison. Yeah. He is that's a good comparison. Yeah.
He be acting his ass off.
He a better actor, I think.
And he usually himself in most movies. You know what I'm saying? It just with an American accent somehow, which is confusing. But yeah, long story short, Will Smith wasn't the problem in the first one, but this nigga here was the solution. He carried this motherfucker, bruh. And I ain't gonna ruin none of the plot. But that nigga carried this motherfucker. You need an emotional angle in the movie. So they put the weight of an emotional decision and an emotional stress on him. And he carried it through different scenarios. And he had the threat of something happening to him that carried him. And he had to respond to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to describe that other than that. Like, if you think about it, like, he wouldn't put more on you than he knew you could bear, baby. Hey, get out of here. I'm done with these burdens. tell him he overestimated my strength. But it's like that. Like, if you was going to give that to anybody in the movie, I'm glad they gave that to him. You know what I'm saying? So it allowed Margot Robbie to be boisterous and flamboyant and crazy. And he go deadpan until he got to respond emotionally to the thing that's tugging at him. You see what I'm saying? He just done with all the nonsense and the fuckery. But then when you pull at his heartstrings, that's when the acting really show up. So he carried it in that regard. And then everybody around him just got to be themselves for real. And all of the stupidity felt more linear, and it actually had a fucking storyline. Because that other one did fucking not. You know what I'm saying? So I get that first one visually a 5 out of 5. Because I realized I started watching movies when they was on VHS. Like, nigga, if you look at the graphics in Flubber and then look at the graphics in Eternals, like, if you complain about a Disney movie this era, you just ungrateful. Yes, because if you're gonna spend 2 hours doing something visually, if you get to consume what they visually doing, nigga, watch it on mute. You still had a good time if you looking to have a good time. So visually, I get that bitch a 5 out of 5. And the rest of that movie, I give it no stars because it was terrible. And then this one, visually, I give it another 5 out of 5. And on the story, I give it like a 2.5. But delivery and execution, I give that bitch 3 stars. It was a much better movie all around than the first one. So The Suicide Squad, much more worth your time than Suicide Squad was. Make sure you put the V on that bitch, like the Facebook, because you don't want to be on the wrong website watching that other piece of shit. And you'll know which one you're watching by whether or not you see Will Smith or the English Will Smith. And on that note, I ask you, my brother, the fuck you been watching, man?
Man, your boy been heavy on this Ozark, man.
My bad. I forgot. Whenever I give you a movie review, I'm supposed to culminate it by asking, as a nigga who don't be watching movies, you think you'll check that out?
Not that first one. I give them titties 2 thumbs down.
That's a bit. Well, we'll just keep it scooting. That second one, if you flip it through Showtime and catch that bitch in the middle, you ain't really missed shit. Because it is the people who are delivering it, they ham-fisted and they tell you what's happening over and over and over. They don't expect niggas who watch their movies to be able to remember the plot. So if you catch it just flipping through, go ahead and watch it. You're gonna enjoy yourself and feel no need to go back and watch it all the way through. But on that note, I toss it to you. And DC fans, don't come for me, nigga. Y'all know that movie was aight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, DC take a heavy hit all the time because they movies is just not bad, but it's just it don't stand up to Marvel.
Assonomics, they chose the wrong stewards over their shit. People who were rushing to be second to the market. Niggas trying to be higher car when Uber was already busting their head with that. When if they had just chilled and took a good deal, Disney could have been doing both of them hoes.
Right.
And when they gave them $100 million budget, you could have demanded the same. And I want the nigga. And I want Favreau to do Batman. You feel me? When they gave Iron Man to another director, they're like, all right, Favreau, come give me that work. Soon as Christopher Nolan was done. But yeah, go ahead, G.
Man, your boy been heavy on this Ozark. Heavy on Ozark. I'm all in. But that shit you said about it, man, is the most accurate shit. Every time you feel like they safe for a little while, it's something that come like they go, and like the doorbell ring, and it's a motherfucker with a machete in his hand trying to kill somebody. But like I can't decide which character I like the most, man. Like out of their family, and then I think it's Jonah. Like I think I may like Jonah the most.
What?
Yeah.
What season you on?
I'm on season 2.
Okay. That nigga said Jonah.
Bruh, Jonah had the hammer.
All my Zark heads out here. This nigga said Jonah.
Yeah. Obviously, that boy Marty go in, but
no, I'm about to say, man, that nigga Marty Bird, man, when he get to walking, I'll be like, go get they ass, Marty. And he had that pencil in his ear doing math. That nigga about that action, boy.
He is, man, but you can tell Jonah is his father's son. Like,
I'm so glad it sucked you in. Tell me. It ain't even no spoiler alert, because everybody done seen up to season 2. Talk about it as freely as you want to, man. But try to leave some for the niggas who ain't seen it.
That boy Tuck gangster too. He walked into Walmart with Nick and got the hammer with that smile on his face. Yeah, so I'm up to the point now where he came to the Snells, and he went to Dale with the plan for the casino. So I just crossed into season 2. I think I'm episode 2, season 2, where they had like the little ball or whatever. Trying to get my man to get him the permits and everything for the casino. But man, it's like, oh man, it's just every twist and turn, bro. Like I don't know who responsible. Like now, because like our goal is to write scripts and create shows and stuff, man. Like now I'm looking at writers. I'm looking at like the screenwriters and, the cinematographers and shit. And I'm like, man, who is this motherfucker? Like, where more his work at? Like, and you're not looking at just because a lot of folks just look at, and a lot of folks being me, I ain't trying to fake on y'all on the audio or the video platform. A lot of folks being me just watching this shit for entertainment until it becomes something that, like, you consume something so much, like you want to be a part of that shit. And we've been putting together like scores for movies and shit for years, like mixtapes and shit, taking all these videos and stuff. Like, I just want to put these shits together to where we can create short films and eventually get to the point where we putting together these types of TV shows and shit, man. And so you get interested in the, like, what makes this thing the thing. Like, so you talk about the graphics and you talk about like the plot and everything like that, and folks sitting in a room and figuring this shit out and how to make it entertaining. Yeah.
As you talk about that, I related to another show that I talked to you about for a couple of years before I got you to try that guy out. And similar to Breaking Bad, this motherfucker start off with a bang. When did you have faith that it wasn't a drug that wouldn't keep you high? You feel what I'm saying? Because that was the element of Breaking Bad that I thought was really special. Similar to them fighting for the purity of the drug, the entire series and all of that being kind of a part of the storyline, and the purity of that not blue magic. What they call that shit? Fuck.
I know damn, I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I forget what they call that shit. I'm gonna rewatch that series at some point. I done gave it like 4 or 5 years off because I want to watch it from the jump. And that That's what I wanted to talk about. Fuck, I ain't talking about the show I wanted to talk about. But the question is, what was the moment in Ozark? I know you said every time they take a deep breath, their heart started back racing. But what after episode 1? How did you know? Oh, this shit not gonna slow down. Like, this ain't a roller coaster. This here is a skydive. I'm just waiting for these niggas to hit the bottom.
When it came when the two uncles went after Marty, I thought, oh, these niggas finna get there. And now we finna get this big tussle and shit. And like, how Marty gonna get out of this? They didn't even get there. Like when Shorty rolled past him in the Beast, I was like, she there for a reason. But you know, it caught me by surprise, and it shouldn't have. And I was like, that is really good writing. That's great. I was like, oh shit. And yeah, that was great. I was like, yeah, this show,
series,
this
you'll feel like deep into the series, you'll feel like they wrote every single episode with every other script up on a big board or something. Because there's no way you had the storyline in mind for the foreshadowing to be that point. But like, it's shit that you weren't even paying attention to in episode 2 that is relevant in season 5. This show is really well fucking done. Bravo, Jason Bateman. Bravo, man. You got my nigga P Hook, buddy. And I'm gonna keep throwing my dog P shows. This one I ain't gonna recommend. Go for it.
When Dale, I didn't see the subtitles. So we used to watch shit with subtitles on. When he said Buddy wife, the snail guy, his wife Darlene ain't nothing to fuck with, bro. Like
Darlene Snail ain't nothing to fuck with. What? Darlene Snail ain't nothing to fuck with. What?
The most ruthless motherfucker. Because I was like, how you can't kill Dale? Like you can't kill. Like he like one of the villain. He the villain guy, right? He the villain. And it turns out he's like,
so
nah, we got bigger villains than this guy. Let's get his ass up out of here. And I'm like, damn, how they gonna survive this? So that show was crazy, man. Like I stayed up way too late last night. I had so much shit that I had to get up this morning to do, and I was like, I can't get up. That 4 o'clock wake up call not happening tomorrow because I just went to sleep an hour ago.
I just say very quickly, my favorite character is by far Ruth Langmore. I love Ruth Langmore. Shorty, a fucking G. Through and fucking through every step of the fucking way. But can I tell you the show I wanted to talk about that I forgot to talk about?
Go ahead.
Fucking Claws. I've been meaning to talk about that shit for 2-3 weeks because I watched the whole series in like a week. Fucking Claws. I ain't mentioned it, have I? The dude
who about the nail techs?
Yeah. It's actually about, you know, chemistry teacher turned drug dealer, nail tech turned drug dealer. But the dude who played Uncle Daddy is the Fed from Breaking Bad. And he played a bisexual Florida clinic operator, and they selling pills and drugs and shit out the clinic and trapping all around the city. But like, and then he had Desna cleaning their money. That's who Niecy Nash played. The Star Claus, and then she got her crew and shit, and then you look Karuchi and that thing. Karuchi finding a motherfucker, boy. I swear that woman trouble, G. That I'll talk about she fine it fuck. But that show entertaining this shit, bro. I don't even know if I could necessarily recommend it. The whole reason it was on my radar is because that shit was saved in my Hulu from when I was dating the ex years ago. And I just never watched it. And I had been through so many other shows. I just been deleting shit out my Hulu. So when I go to my list, that shit just be looking me in the face. And I'm like, I like so many other people who in this shit. Fuck it. I watched episode 1 and similar to Ozark, nigga. That bitch start off hitting. I shit you not. Main characters getting popped in the first episode, nigga. They introduce motherfuckers, give them a backstory, and then bow. Like, when I tell you the whole series, these niggas dealing drugs. Matter of fact, once you get through Ozark, man, if you got a crazy day, and you did it, watch it with Shorty, though. Because this is what's funny, bro. It make me mad I wouldn't watch it with her. Because she loved this shit. And she was watching it as it came out, but she just wait for it to hit Hulu and then watch it without commercials. You feel? Just like I be doing shit, you feel me? So... it'll be like Tuesday, that bitch come on. She'll be like, you go watch Claws with me tomorrow? And I'll be like, what you think? But I come in and just be standing there. You know how niggas do, be standing there not wanting to watch it and end up watching 12 minutes of the episode and shit. And then try to run away so you don't. Exactly, bro. They try to run away so you don't ruin the ending. Oh, it looked like something about to happen. Let me get out of here. And then she just said, you might as well just sit down. There's some more wine in there, and I'm like, I ain't watching this shit. I'm finna go make some music. Trying to be tough. This show was pretty good, bro. I ain't even gonna hate. Claws, I recommend it, bro. I just got to. I was like, I don't know if I would. I recommend it because they got plenty of beautiful women throughout. Amazing storyline. Damn good acting, bro. Because these are characters who a lot of people aren't introduced to through cinema and media. And if you know people like these motherfuckers, they did a very authentic job of representing them. Because there's so much hood shit going on that people don't realize any and everywhere and up and through everywhere they go. Your favorite convenience store cleaning money, whether you know it or not, for somebody. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, I toss it to you, Pete.
Can I do you a favor, man?
Give me some headlines.
I'm about to give you some of these headlines, man. We got a smorgasbord of them guys today. So get ready.
Serve them.
So from the New York Post, ex-Yale employee used $40 million in stolen tech equipment to fund lavish lifestyle. From the NPR, British lawmaker Neale Parrish resigning after watching porn in the House of Commons. In the House of Cummin. From the NPR, the FDA is proposing a ban on menthol cigarettes. Also from the NPR, LeVar Burton will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Children's Emmys, at the new Children's Emmys. And your final headline.
Go ahead and give us a contract. What is this
from ESPN?
Oh, the hair was curling. My bad.
From ESPN. Georgia Bulldogs break NFL record with 15 players drafted.
Give me them first two. Them the leaders in the clubhouse. Everybody else, they make the weekend cut.
From the New York Post, ex-Yale employee used $40 million.
Give me that one. My bad. Give me that one. But yeah, read that headline for me and the people. That's the one. That's the one. Shouts out to him, whoever he is. Tell us about this hero.
He, you say?
I said hero. That don't have a gender. Look at you. Look at you. Chauvinist.
From the New York Post.
P only got male heroes. Y'all heard that, ladies. You be trying to make me He-Man Woman Haters Club, but me, I'm the feminist. I'm the one who know hero isn't gender specific. I'll tell you who my first hero was. My mama, and then my grandma. I don't know about P. Is probably somebody with a penis. Go ahead though.
No, you said he, bro. You said hero. I said he, as in question mark. It's a woman.
I'm the one. How talk to the people. How you hear he had a hero?
Yeah. A New York Post ex-Yale employee used $40 million in stolen tech equipment to fund lavish lifestyle by Thomas Barraby. So a former Yale University employee admitted to pilfering more than $40 million worth of electronics from the Ivy League school, and then using the proceeds of her scheme to fund a lavish lifestyle that included luxury cars, ritzy real estate, and travel. And Jamie Patron, a 42-year-old former director of finance and administration at Yale Med School's Department of Emergency Medicine, pled guilty to federal charges of wire fraud and filing a false tax return. In total, Patron's scheme cost Yale about $40.5 million. As part of her guilty plea, the ex-administrator forfeited more than $560,000 and turned over a fleet of high-end cars, including 2 Mercedes-Benzes, 2 Cadillac Escalades, a Range Rover, and a Dodge Charger. Bro, that's where they drew the fucking line. They was like, hold up, a Dodge Charger?
There's some nigga shit going on here.
There's some nigga shit going on. As long as they thought it was a white woman, like Mercedes, somebody's stealing the Mercedes, somebody's stealing the motherfucking Range Rover, a Dodge Charger. Wait, there's some.
If you ain't in the military, I smell some bullshit. Bro, unless you just got back from your tour.
Hold on, we can't allow these jigaboos to steal money from the greatest university.
Don't tell me it was a she and she was black.
It was black woman.
Oh damn! Damn!
Dodge Charger.
The Dodge Charger gave it away. I knew it. I need to clip this. The Dodge Charger gave it away.
The Dodge Charger, bro. Me and Carmen laughed about that shit. Like, I read this out loud as I was picking these, bro. I read them out. Carmen was like, that Dodge Charger got her caught. That's like, don't nobody white by no damn.
Everybody knew. How did she not know?
She was as
soon as I heard Dodge Charger. Oh,
because her last name, like, you look at her name and like you look at her, she look like an Italian white woman. Like, to be honest,
y'all run around talking about watermelon and chicken. Not all heroes wear capes, but all niggas love Dodge Chargers. I tell you that. That is funny, boy.
Patron also agreed to sell off 3 properties in Connecticut as restitution. She sold 3 properties to pay back that money. So a 4th property she owns.
She didn't do no time, did she?
Hold on, I forgot.
All right, my bad.
A 4th property she owns in Georgia also could be seized and sold. The Fed said Patron, whose role authorized her to make equipment purchases for her department, as long as the total value was below $10,000, either bought or directed employees to buy tech hardware using the school's money. Patron would use her position to claim that Yale's med school required the equipment, such as iPads and Microsoft Surface tablets, to help perform medical studies and other needs. Later, the goods were shipped to an unnamed out-of-state business, which sold the equipment for cash and wired the proceeds to an account controlled by Maziv Entertainment, where Patron was listed as principal. Yale first questioned Patron about her suspicious transactions in 2020 and later received an anonymous tip about the high volume of equipment orders, triggering an internal investigation. Patron told FBI investigators last August that she conducted the scheme for several years, possibly as many as 10 years, and noted that approximately 90% of her computer-related purchases were fraudulent, according to an affidavit viewed by the Hartford Courant. Yale initially alerted authorities to evidence of suspected criminal behavior last year and fully cooperated throughout the investigation, a Yale spokesperson told. Let's get to the federal officials said Patron never paid taxes on money she received in exchange for the stolen equipment. She filed.
That's what it was. That's what pissed the feds off.
That's what it was. Yeah. Hey, if you're gonna steal some money, give us our cut.
If you look at what the penalties is, it's the feds cut. Them penalties ain't paying Yale back. The feds keeping every dime of that.
She won't be sentenced until next June. If she's sentenced. She was released on a $1 million bond prior to her sentencing, which is stated.
And she had it.
Slated for June. She had it.
And she had it. I know they sick.
Bro, they sick. They sick.
She had the bill.
She stole 40 mil over roughly 10 years.
And she said that light work.
That's light. She said that's what they got me for. Like they know about 40 of the mil. Yeah, but she just got greedy and careless. She's like, oh man, they ain't gonna catch me. They ain't caught me yet. They ain't gonna catch me. She got greedy.
Fucking Dodge Charger, man. That's a good time, man. I don't even have nothing else on it. I'm glad I chose it though. That's fantastic. That's a good time, P. That's funny as shit.
So we gonna leave that high note. And I'm gonna give you a page turner, man. Me and the homie been back and forth on this book for a minute. Did you finish it? Were you able to finish it?
You would ask that because you know I ain't gonna lie to the people. Hell nah, I ain't finished it, bro. You know I hate shit about slavery, movies, cinema, literature. It just bothered me. It irked me. I feel like I ain't trying to activate no PTSD in my DNA. It's some shit I don't want to know.
Then we can skip past it. We don't want to. I don't want to talk about it.
I read enough to talk about it. The three that mattered was: what did you learn? What did you take away from it? And how did it make you feel?
It was. Hold on, I wrote it down. Yeah, one thing you learned, one question you have, and one takeaway.
Yeah, well, that was my takeaway. It fit into the category of stuff like Amistad and all that shit that get my goat hit too close to something I don't want to acknowledge is a part of my history, even if it potentially is. I have a different kind of relativity to slavery in general. And some of the factual nature of it kind of blew my mind because one thing I learned was how long the slave trade was going after it was outlawed. Yeah. Because I knew that
exactly.
Juneteenth will tell you slavery was still going on after it was outlawed, but to know they were still bringing in new people, like we ain't stopping. Like they was Leo and Wolf of Wall Street. Fuck you, I'm not leaving. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was like, this the business. Like, fuck what y'all talking about. And how, like, as an econ major and somebody who's helped people grow businesses across different industries and helped stakeholders at all levels, to hear how fucking business like it was, like, the question I would have was, when you look at the science of PTSD and all the shit in our DNA and the trauma that still exists generations past people who dealt with slavery, has there been an ounce of research done on the DNA passed down by people who were this barbaric, who were willing to treat other human beings as property, who were chopping people's feet off and setting them on fire? Has there been anything done to the psychology of people who were used to subjugating other human beings and what that psychological break might look like when people didn't do whatever they said? Could that be why Karens exist in the first place? That's the question I have. Has any fucking research been done to the psychological effects of slavery on white people since it's been abolished? Since they ain't had they slaves?
There we go. That's my guy.
Because
that's
had to have hurt. Because for them to have been doing it this far after it was outlawed, the thought of losing us terrified them. And for them to spend so much time trying to act like we ain't valuable when we built this motherfucker and y'all were willing to cross oceans and risk death, disease, and being arrested doing the shit illegally. So don't talk to me about morality when y'all stand on the law like it's morality. Y'all were willing to do this shit illegally. Don't tell me y'all didn't see the value. And every Black History Month, they talk about inventors and all the things and all the people you be hearing about be African Americans, bruh. And all of them inventions happened less than 100 years after it was illegal for these people to be able to read. So it's something special about the melanated people sitting on this land. Because I don't remember the laws that prevented people over there from reading. Where are the inventions credited to them over that century? You feel what I'm saying? Because people talk a lot of slick shit, and you hear a lot of disrespectful shit from Africans about African Americans. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. But the other thing that this shit made me do is to go research, bruh. And I ain't gonna go into all the numbers, but because of how economical this was, I went and did like the research on the numbers, bruh. And with the number of melanated people who were murdered, the number of melanated people who were enslaved, and the number of melanated people who they say came over on boats and they have accounting record for, it's way too many of us over here for slavery to be how melanated people got to this country. It's that fucking simple.
And that was my question.
It's way too many black people for slavery to be how we got to this continent. It's that simple.
So there's a story that he tells in the book, and we're talking about Barracoon for the people who are who haven't been tuned in to the previous episodes. We have been reading Barracoon by Zora Neale Hurston. It won a lot of awards, and one of the awards it won was from our good people over at NPR. One of the
that was the takeaway. My bad. I didn't wrap a bow on that. Oh, sorry. That is way too many of us over here for this to be how we all got here.
So the main character in this book, my G, his name is Kozula. His African name, Oluwale Kozula. His American name was Kujo Lewis. And he said when he got here, the American blacks would make fun of him and call them savages. So if he recognized that these other people weren't where he was from, where did they come from? They had to have already been here, right?
Yeah.
They had to have already have been here. He said there were African blacks and then there were American blacks. Meaning he knew that they did, and even like you could hear the way that he talked, even though he had been here for 60 some odd years of his life. Like she met him when he was an old man and he still talked like he was from Africa. So he could tell if somebody was from Africa, Africa, how he kept saying it, or whether they was from somewhere else, which was here. So like you said, that was my question is, if Kozula, a man who is from Africa, knew exactly who he felt the disconnection, they even started their own church because they were called savages by the people who looked like them, but were not from where he was from, which he was from Africa. He was from Nigeria. He was from the Yoruba tribe. And so that lie that it's a lie. It has to be a lie. Because this is an account, and they don't explicitly say, like, they don't even go down that rabbit hole, but that's one of the, like, and I've read this book twice now. My lady's read this book also, and like she underlined this, like some of the same passages and like wrote out some things in the margins. Like, this is interesting.
Don't finish it. It's just hard to finish.
It is. And like the reason that I'm drawn in is because it took place in the Mobile Bay, which is where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got to wonder which part of that group am I from? Am I from? Because my family, as far as we can trace back to the 1840s, which was around this time, came from the Black Belt, which is the most rich and fertile land, some of the most rich and fertile planting land, agricultural land in this country. Like that's the area of Jackson, Alabama, Jackson County, where my folks came from. So I got to figure out which am I a part of? Am I a part of this Afiki that was stolen and brought here? Or am I a part of people who was already the fuck here?
Might be a mix of both, but I don't think people understand the significance of the slave trade and the importance of displacing people from where they grew up or where they were born and outlawing them from speaking their language. When you take language from people, you take their ability to pass down their own history, and you get to tell them what their history is. just like they taking slavery out of the textbooks. And people protesting it, but I don't think they should be, because the story you are being told is not the truth. A great deal of next week's episode will be centered around a History Channel documentary about America's untold truths and all of the pyramids in America. It's a whole ass documentary about the shit on the History Channel, and we're gonna get into it next week. It's a series, nigga. Series. And the way they're advertising it is, you have been lied to about the history of the land you are sitting on. But people don't believe shit until a white person tell them. So I'm going to deliver it to you from their perspective. And I'm going to have a Koofy on the whole goddamn episode, because it's going to be a conspiracy, brother, boy.
Yeah, man. Like this, and also one of the takeaways that I had was my people that look like me sold me. Complete strangers bought me. And then people who look like me made fun of me because I was something other than. And it was like, it's just the take. Well, like, you look at motherfuckers for their character, man. Like, don't look at motherfuckers like that. Because people see me, I hang with everybody.
Can I ask you a question that I didn't want to ask? But when you say that, bro, I got to ask you this blunt and straightforward. It made me look at the punishments and how they control these human beings because they looked at them like property the same way I always did, like savagery. But it made me look at the white people of today as more callous and more cruel. Because look at what you just said. For the ones who came over on a boat, they were prisoners of war sold into slavery by enemy captors or caught by people that are trying to collect human property. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 13th Amendment did not outlaw slavery. If you read it, it takes it out of the hands of citizens and makes it a government institution. It is you can only become a slave by punishment of violation of a federal crime. And that's why you hear niggas talk about getting fed time and why it's so much different. Because you become property of the state and you are no longer a human being. And the crime bill that Biden wrote, your president, you in the royal sense, not UP, is there our president, turned people into property for getting caught with a recreational substance that more than half of the country smoke. Being caught with marijuana 3 times turned people into a property for a quarter of a century. These people were not prisoners of war. These people were American citizens who got caught with marijuana 3 times, not selling it, possession. And they became property for a quarter of a century as a mandatory minimum. 25 years, cuz. How is that not more savage than a prisoner of war being sold by his enemy?
And that is also another takeaway that I had. Keep your thought. Can I add another layer to it?
Please do.
The motherfuckers who would build a ship that was fast, take it to another land, take people as property, bring them back to this country, they get lost in that story. Like you said, like what are the effects of being a slaver? Them motherfuckers not dead. Like they family trees are still here. So the effects of us having to deal with being a part of the population, being the descendants of former slaves, the descendants of former slavers, the effects of those people, like what they are, who are they now? Who are they now? These motherfuckers not out here like, like making retribution for the crimes that their families committed. They are still committing those crimes. They are the people who we need to get smarter about how we get slaves. We see how, and the people up north, who outlawed slavery is like, no. We're going to stop y'all from doing it down south. And they turned it into like you said, a government institution. It's like, no.
You look at it from that perspective,
we gonna fight y'all. We gonna
understand why the South would go to war when you taking their biggest economic motherfucking weapon away from them and making it a government institution, but you still gonna tax them. You gonna take their biggest economic benefit away from them and make it a government institution, and then sell them the labor back. Because prison labor is still $1 billion industry in this country. It's a huge part of Michael Jordan's portfolio and how he was able to buy the Charlotte Hornets. Go look that shit up. And if it ain't there, it's because he sold it off recently. Prison labor is $1 billion industry in this country, and they sold it back to people they took it away from through war. Because cotton, if you look at what percentage of this country's export it was over 50 and still 46% damn near through the 1900s. Cotton was a huge percentage of what this country built this wealth off of. And that shit was all free labor. And they took it and then sold it back to them. Not having a job was a federal crime after slavery. So if people wouldn't hire you, they would arrest you and then put you to work for free. And charge the people they had just went to war to not allow you to work for free. That's the government that the South went to war against. So fuck the racism behind it. But the war of it, I understand the fuck out of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I done went to war about that shit too. You crazy as fuck. It's just like your plug coming through and killing all of your corner boys and then telling you the price of the brick doubled because you ain't got nobody to move it. You the reason I ain't got nobody to move it.
Now I got a problem with you.
And you still gonna tax me? Goddamn. Yeah, it is time to go to war. The wrong people gonna see this clip and this shit gonna be everywhere.
But bruh, the biggest reason I wanted to bring this about is because one of the things that attached me to this book obviously is because it's where I come from. Like the last slave ship sank in the bay where I fished out of.
I caught my first fish in that bay, cuz.
You caught your first fish in that bay. You caught your first fish in that bay. My pops. Yeah, you got it because of my pops.
I want to say it like it's an insult, but it'd be a compliment because of you and your cool ass daddy. You and your ugly. Nah, I'm playing. But yeah, your dad cool as fuck, man. That nigga had 23 fishing rods. Cuz niggas had went and bought 2 cheap ass rods. He said, "Oh nah, them gonna snap soon as you throw them in the water." We wasted our $14. Shouts out to Pop Rose.
But yeah, Barracoon. If you haven't read it, give it a read, man. And it'll. The reason I like talking about, take your time with it, because it is a heart-wrenching tale.
Read that shit in the daytime.
Yeah, it's like reading. It's like watching a scary movie, but yeah, it's like a scary movie before you go to sleep. You don't want to do that shit.
Yeah,
you don't want to do that shit. Because I was reading it last night and I was like, I got to put this shit down. Let me cut this Ozark on. Let me watch a nigga get his toenails peeled off.
Exactly.
I'd rather do that than read this right now. But it is, it's history, man. And I feel like we can't let stories like this die, because we can't let motherfuckers forget that they did this shit. And like it still lives. And like I still feel it. And
that's the thing about it. It was palpable. It wasn't a generalization. It was a personal account.
Bruh, he died around the time that my great grandfather, who I spent 15 years of my life around, my great grandfather was as old as his daughter that passed away. He had a 15-year-old daughter that passed away. My great grandfather was as old as that young lady when like CoolAthletics passed away. So he was a last slave. My great grandfather, who I lived at,
your grandfather lived with him as long as you lived with your grandfather.
As long as I lived with my grandfather. So quit trying to tell us that this shit was sometime long fucking far away ago. Because had my great grandfather met him, he would have been able to tell me those stories. And that man was the last slave. Like it blows my fucking mind. So that when they say get the fuck over it, no. Pump your fucking brakes. Pump your fucking brakes, Slim. We will never.
I make it this simple for people that say get the fuck over it. A generation by normal standards is 70 years. Let's round it down to 50. It's only been 150 years, 3 generations.
3 generations.
And for melanated people of this country, that means for the ones who didn't die in debt, 50% of their estate was taxed 3 times after being property. Trying to build wealth in this country, you took 50% of everything melanated people built after you gave them nothing for their labor for 400 years. Reparations ain't that complicated. Stop taxing people you treated like property for the same amount of time you treated them like property and see the type of wealth they build in this country. This shit not hard. You ain't got to give us a goddamn thing. Just stop taking.
Yeah, just stop taking. Stop taking.
And I keep it simple. And I always explain this whenever I make this point about reparations. Some of us, they tax damn near 50% depending on how much money you make. A normal rate, we talking 23 to 33%. Mm-hmm. Black people only 13% of this country. If y'all can't manage without our taxes, then y'all need to stop taxing everybody because y'all don't know how to manage no motherfucking money. You feel what the fuck I'm saying? If we need to be able to do without 30% of what we make, y'all can do without 13% of what the fuck y'all normally get in taxes. There you go. Reparations made easy. Stop taxing the people you treated like property for the same amount of time you treated them like property. Let's see what the wealth gap look like in 400 fucking years. Hell, in 50.
Square bitty. Bruh, can you give me some sports?
See, I could try. You feel me? But your boy got hot. But that's, bruh, nobody will tell me that's a bad point. Somebody explain to me why it ain't doable, and then somebody explain to me why it don't make sense. Because the compound interest, if you cut us a check, you been watching the NBA playoffs, doggy?
I just seen a few games.
Man.
I just seen a few games.
Man, I've been keeping up with these bitches, man. And I don't want to call him his nickname because I don't want to jinx him. But I have been Doc Rivers lost tonight, his stupid ass. They down 1-0 to the Miami Heat. Fuck Doc Rivers. Chris Paul has been surprising the fuck out of me, dog. This nigga went 14 for 14 for 30-something in a closeout game. And you know, I've been bashing this nigga for forever. But he will not Tom Brady me. He will not make me a fan. I will watch him and be surprised as I root against him all the way to a championship if he get there. But he ain't gonna make me a fan. He will not do that no matter how good he play. You know what I'm saying? Have you caught CP3 doing his thing, bro? This nigga been going black, bro. He lost book and he said, I be damned if this another one of them years. That's what his play's saying. Like, he earning that point guard title. Like, that GAWD, he earning that shit this year.
There was a young man who was on a show, and JJ Redick gave that man the beats when he was talking about, like, not John Havlicek, but like he was talking about some white guy back in the day. He's like, he changed the game, and they showed like clips of.
You don't recognize his voice? He just now trying to make the transition to TV. That's Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's who that is. The legendary New York voice, man. He trying to make the transition to TV, and Stephen A. fucking with him. Bob Cousy. That's who he's talking about. He's like, you talking about them one-handed fast breaks?
Yeah, he changed the game. Like, bro, Bob Cousy. and you they showed film of Bob Cousy. You like, this changed the game? And you looking at what Chris Paul doing, you looking at what Jodham doing, like Stop.
Ja Rule
bro.
put Bob Cousy ass in a blender, boy. And like the thing I always try to point out to niggas when they get to talking that old era shit, I say, oh, Michael Jordan was special. You seen his knees clap together when Iverson mixed his ass up. Imagine what Steph Curry would do to Jordan. You dumb as fuck if you think he got Chris Paul falling all over himself at 5'11" and a 6'6" nigga would know what to do with Steph Curry. You stupid. He couldn't do nothing with Iverson. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Steph Curry is 6'3", so he couldn't just bully this man for most of his career because he didn't get bulky to the 90s. So for the first decade of his career when he was winning all them awards, Steph Curry would have ate Jordan ass alive. And during them heavy Piston years, guess what Steph Curry would have had for that nigga? A whole lot of Draymond Green. You could throw Dennis Rodman at him if you want to, but guess who getting kicked in the nuts? He'd go step for step with that nigga. You dumb as fuck if you think the 73 Warriors wouldn't have gave the 72 win Bulls a motherfucking run for they business. You heard me? And that's from a LeBron fan. Them niggas is good. You hear me? Them niggas playing ball too, man. We'll shift right from CP. Oh, damn, I almost called him a nickname. I'm rooting against you, but I will not jinx you because I got Interrary. You feel me? Interrary. Interrary weed. You watch South Park?
No.
Bruh, Stan Marsh started a weed strain called Tegrity Weed. And that dude just fantastic, man. He been a good character for about 12 years. They really started to flesh out his lunacy, and I fuck with every ounce of it. Steph Curry, man.
Yeah.
He still ain't did nothing that made me feel like he not gonna disappear on you. Jordan fucking Poole been a nigga going off on the Warriors. How shocking has this been, my nigga? When they needed a game, Steph and Clay give you about 20. This nigga give you 31. How? Is it because they not checking him? Because who that boy they traded? Harrison Barnes never gave you 31. At the height of the splash, he never gave you 31 when you needed it in a closeout. Never.
Yeah.
That's why he got the fuck up out of there when they needed KD. Do you think he can keep it going, or do you think Steph and Clay gonna get back into their rhythm because people gonna start to overcompensate? Like, what's happening?
That boy trouble, bro. Like, if you watch his game, he trouble. Like,
he confident.
And the thing about him is, I watched some clips about where they were talking about KD and how even with KD being there, the reason why KD was so good is because Steph was on the floor, and they showed you. And when if you know basketball and you watch the movement of basketball, like, people are so fearful of Steph being open, and so I think as long as I feel like Jordan Poole, like those three cats, man, if they decide they're going to stick together, I think Jordan Poole is a hell of a talent. He about 6'4", 6'5", maybe.
You're gonna have to sacrifice Wiggins because he's gonna want a max.
Oh, I forget, it's all four of them motherfuckers over there. And Wiggins been playing nice ball too.
Bruh, quietly.
Like, he been playing nice ball.
They if they gonna use him as a trade piece, and every step of the way, he just been hooping. He like, y'all trade me if y'all want to.
They gonna trade you, buddy. They gonna keep the younger buck. They got younger bucks in the stable, man. So they gonna
he might take a lower contract to stay if they get the winning.
Yeah, I think that
because he'll be done made 200 at that point.
Ill-advised decision. Take the money. You can go play ball wherever the fuck, man. Get your little championship there and get the fuck on, man. They gonna try to lowball you. If somebody else gonna pay you, like what's my name? My man Scary Terry, didn't he get like a max contract in Charlotte or something like that?
Yeah, he got the hell on. He said, I holler at Boston.
Yeah, fuck Boston. Marcus Smart, dumbass, is gonna stick around and be Mr. I take charges for fucking 17 years. And that
I respect everybody who remember it's a job.
Right.
Phoenix is up on Luka 14-4 right now, cuz. Who you think gonna win that series, man? We talked about CP doing crazy shit.
Oh, he there. CP them
Luka,
definitely
a
getting to the
wild
Western
ass
Conference Finals.
playoff performance, bruh. Okay. D Book back. He got 6 right now.
Back. Yeah, he back.
Book back.
Yeah,
he got 6 for
back.
they 18.
Yeah, he finna go. He finna go ape shit. I feel like Book more motivated than CP is. As crazy as that may sound.
Luka 50%. He got 4 points right now. He got 4 of they 6. He coming for him.
Book hairline start 3 centimeters above his eyebrows. Like that motherfucker hairline.
Is that good or bad?
Very compact. I mean, he'll be 700 years old before his hairline recedes. So I think it's a good thing.
They stay trying to not tell you what channel this shit on. It just say watch live. Which what channel?
Gotta be on TNT.
TNT. They Monday night?
ESPN get the weekend games. Finals don't go to ABC. ABC don't get nothing to the finals.
They alternate. They alternate. Which one is Shaq on? Shaq a Tuesday
TNT?
Or no? Do he come on Tuesdays or Wednesdays?
Oh, Shaq ain't there every night?
No. You know Dwayne Wade and Candace Parker, them do the other TNT show.
That's right.
Dwayne Wade, Candace Parker. Right. Who the white dude is? Lefko? Is that Adam Lefko?
I don't know. He white.
Fucked up. Who the fourth? I forgot the fourth. He probably madder than the white dude.
Jalen.
Yep, Jalen.
He whitey Ben Affleck. Oh man, can I do something for you, bro?
Could you give me some headlines?
Or I can tell you something good.
Oh, yeah, do that. Tell me something good. Yeah.
Oh man, the God. We got this is called Family Blessings. This TSG is called Family Blessings. So I got some great news from somebody who's, and I forget what the hell it is, but I got some great news from my homie over the weekend about some great things that he doing in his world. But somebody, a close personal friend of the show, Brother Kev, was approached by a representative from a very large brand. Like everybody know it. Everybody know this brand. And they want to work with the good brother on sponsoring a surf tournament in LA with CoolAthletics. And I'm not going to say it out loud until I get the confirmation. He said, we can't talk we can't say too much about it until it's confirmed.
You gotta go.
He can talk about it out loud. But when you hear the name, you're gonna be like, damn. He called me over the weekend and was like, bro, like amazing things are happening. Keep going, keep pushing forward. Like he started this brand CoolAthletics in 2017. It's 5 years later. And it's really starting to catch some starting to catch some steam. Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to at CoolAthletics, at Kev Gray. We're gonna put go get you some Elizabeth Artist candles. Support the fam. Like, and I can tell you, bro, from the moment I met this dude, we was in the 3rd grade, the first time we ever met. This man has been the most genuine motherfucker I have ever met, dog. He is a true brother. And blessings are, I hope they fucking suffocate him. I want some of the blessings to fall on this man and what he's doing, because his energy and his heart is so fucking pure. So he invited us, man, to come out there and at the end of August when this thing is supposed to take off and be a part of this shit. So we got to plan on getting to LA at the end of August, man, so we can be out there and support and get some interviews going, like maybe do a live show. Like it may be our first live show is we get out there and we get to spend some time with him at this serve tournament once it comes to fruition, because we speaking everything into existence, and like we know how this is only the beginning for the good brother, man. Well, it's the next page in
already got the anthem
in the several volume biography of our brother. And I told you at the back end of this thing, I was also going to give you these 2 ideas that I had. You want idea A?
I'm mad you ain't get the old girl.
Huh?
Lip sync.
Oh, girl. Oh, that was supposed to be on the cold open.
I've been waiting on it all show. Do what you doing first.
I got 2 ideas. Which one you want, A or B?
Option number B.
Okay, option B. You've been getting at my ass by scheduling time with you for production. Oh, man. Yeah. You've been trying to schedule time to produce. My idea is I want you to build a class. This is how. Record yourself on, it's a platform called Loom. You can record yourself on Loom, making a beat, educate me on some shit that I can go back, rewind, go back, take notes, stop, back up, create a class on how to make a beat from fucking scratch. To me, of course, it's for me. I'm gonna digest that shit. I'm gonna make these beats, but you can also sell it to other motherfuckers as an online course. And we on Udemy, put it on our Patreon. Like that shit is a legitimate e-course on how to build the beat. Like Loom is a great product, and it's a whole lot better than Zoom is. Sorry, Zoom, but Loom got you on some shit.
They gonna do,
but it is a fantastic. I thought it was a fantastic idea is to build an e-course on how to produce, and then you can actually sell that motherfucker for X amount of dollars, and it's an actual monetary. It's a digital product that you have to sell and monetize. Second idea. I
got a lot of homework already right now. What option number A?
Second idea. I was listening to some old school shit. Came across a song. Tell me something good. Doom, doom. Tell me that you like me. Yeah. Every fucking segment that we have need its own song. It need its own song.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
Commit to making the beat and the song with me over Zoom or Loom.
Okay, then. We can do we can sample Tell Me Something Good.
We'll make it for your segment first.
Yeah. But those are the 2 ideas that I had, man.
Yeah, I love A, and B is a great idea. I don't love it because of how much work associated with it. This shit about getting you working, not getting me more work. That's the whole reason we need both of us being able to make beats, nigga. But I dig it though, and I can meet you halfway. You gonna have to edit that shit.
That's fair.
Ain't talking about I record it if you'll do the editing.
But yeah, shout out to young Brooklyn. What's her name? Brooklyn Staggs. The young lady who 15 minutes of fame turned into about 7.5 minutes because of a tweet that somebody went and the internet always gonna find out about you.
No, she tweeted this out
lip syncing
a couple of days after she blew up. Nobody went and found this. She tweeted it out. She blew up on like Wednesday. She tweeted this on Saturday. Yeah, she did it to herself.
Damn. So yeah, Lil Shorty, Brooklyn Staggs was lip syncing a Lil Baby song and a Lil Von song, and yeah, like blew up because she was not pulling LeBron. She actually knew the words to the song, most of them anyway. I think she knew like 70% of it, which is enough for the internet to give her an invite to the fake cookout that they always giving niggas invites to. But this young lady later, it was a bobcat, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's who that nigga was.
Shorty was talking about a bobcat that did something, and she called the bobcat a nigga, and now has been canceled.
Can I interject? I know this your joint.
Now go ahead. This really
the tweet read something like for all the people asking about the scratch on my face, I pulled up and saw a bobcat on the side of the road and it looked like it was dead. So I walked up and I poked that nigga and he popped up and scratched me in my face. It was very casual, like it's just a thing. She definitely say the nigga in them songs that she was rapping word for word.
Oh,
that's what that taught her.
100%.
She not dropping the nigga. But can I and the last thing I want to interject,
which is crazy,
anybody who do their research, because I do my research, and that's the thing. She didn't do Lil Baby and Vaughn, bro. If you go back and look at the actual Brides shit, she did a whole concert into that camera, hoping one of them clips would go viral.
Really?
Yeah. She did at least 6 songs. She did at least 6, nigga. That's the funniest thing about this shit. So she tricked y'all niggas just like she poked that bobcat. But I toss it to you now that I introduced that fact, because I know you didn't know that piece of. I be doing my research for this bitch, cuz.
I didn't give 2 fucks enough to go back. So she was at a wedding. And was
she's that person at the party who rap every word to the. Ain't nothing wrong with being that person, but she rapped the whole party to that camera. And the one that blew up was the 2 that the bride came over for, because that's the ones that should blow up. The ones that involve the bride.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because everybody knows Stagg's name. Don't nobody know the fucking bride name. But that's the funniest piece of it, man. She got movie videographer level people at her wedding, and Staggs is over there giving a Lil Baby concert to that motherfucker. People think she just went over there and was hyped with her friend. Nah. Shawty wanted what she got and then fucked that shit up that quick. It was very
fantastic. Poetic justice is what that is.
Yeah. She thought she had bamboozled us. Just like she thought that bobcat was dead, but because
she she popped up on Cameo all of a sudden, like, bro, she was gonna be rapping songs and making money off that shit. She's gonna be charging motherfuckers like $30 or some shit to rap.
Yeah, she was gonna get to the bag. Nothing people love more than I call it the Justin Timberlake effect. Is a white person that do black stuff well. They love it. The Elvis Presley effect. She was finna get to that Elvis Presley bag. She probably would have had ghostwriters and producers, and she'd have been making albums. She was finna get to that Milli Vanilli bag.
Bad Baby.
Yeah, she got one song like that's so fire. I hope she don't ever retire though. That shit she got with Tory Lanez.
Who? Bad Baby?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know the name of that shit is, but she be like coming out hard like 88, make a bit levitate. So man, that nigga Tory Lanez go out so hard on that shit. You ain't heard that shit? That bitch can rap. I don't know if she can write, but that bitch can rap. And I'm pretty sure Tory wrote that whole shit because her flow is his flow. You feel me?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I ain't listened to Cuz music in a minute. It's been a long time. I was never really a fan, honestly.
I'm very much a fan. I ain't even gonna cap for the audience. I feel like he is to Trey Songz what Trey Songz was to R. Kelly, but people cancel R. Kelly, and from what I hear, Trey Songz documentary gonna be worse than R. Kelly. So all this shit, wow,
man,
this shit mind blowing, man. None of your heroes, man. He not a hero of mine by any fucking stretch of the imagination. I just love his catalog of music. I think that bitch immaculate, and they're gonna take my G down before he can ever enjoy legendary status. He not getting a lifetime achievement award. They're gonna take him down long before he get that statue. And his catalog warrants one. Wonder Woman came out 20 years ago, cuz. Just Gotta Make It 20 years ago, cuz. And that nigga ain't dropped no bad albums. Niggas in the 90s was getting awards for having a decade of music, which was 5 albums at the time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Whether it's forgiveness, love, or additions to your playlist that you may not want or need, we here at Give Me Some Headlines believe wholeheartedly that it is better to give than it is to receive. Yeah.